Hi everybody, it's me Adele and welcome to my channel Sew for Serenity, where I talk to you about my sewing journey. Welcome back if you're a regular viewer, and if you're new here I hope you enjoy this vlog and consider subscribing. So welcome to this week's Friday Sews, and can you actually believe it, I've got this out for on a Friday. Yay, winning at life. So apologies over the last couple of weeks, I've been absolutely swamped with work, life, and just really struggled to get my vlogs out on time, which I'm really sorry about, but hopefully normal service will resume. So this week's Friday Sews, as normal, I'm going to talk to you about what I did in last week in the world of sewing and what my plans are for the week ahead. So if you like the sound of that, keep watching. So the most exciting thing I've done this week is go to one of my sewing socials, which is run by Sally, the Staffordshire sewist, who has just recently launched her own YouTube channel, which if you haven't checked out, get over there and check it out because it's great. And that is in Staffordshire. It's just round the corner from me. It's a 20-minute journey, so it's not too far away, and it's a really lovely sewing social, fairly small in comparison to Becky's, which I go to at the end of the month, but equally as great fun. And the lovely ladies that go there are fast becoming not just sewing friends but friends as well, because they're a group of lovely ladies. And also it was another opportunity to see the wonderful Becky from What Beck Sews, who I seem to be seeing every other week at the moment. So the two plans that I had to go with was to do a toile. I think I talked about this in my Friday Sews, to do a toile of the Dani Pinafore by Seamwork. This is the Dani Pinafore by Seamwork, which I just love this aesthetic. It was the thing that really drew me to this is it's got no fastenings, it's got this quite contemporary V, and I love the turtleneck that it's got underneath it. So that's the Dani. So the first plan was to toile that. So I cut out the pattern in a size 10 bust, 12 waist, 14 hip. So I'd graded. On the top I'd gone from a 10 to a 12 on the waist, and then on the skirt panels I'd gone from a 12 to a 14 hip. And I got some fabric from off the swap table to do my toiling, and it went really, really well. So let me show you my toile. I mean, if the fabric hadn't have been quite so thick, this actually would have been really, really nice to wear. So this is my toile of the Dani, which I'll just hold it up. And I tried this on, and as suspected, I did need a sway back. While I was wearing it, they pinned the back up for me here, which what that basically does, for those of you that don't know what a sway back adjustment is, it pulls up the shoulders and makes it sit correctly, whereas when it's not there, the shoulders come forward because they're trying to compensate for the excess fabric in the back. So I knew I needed to do a sway back adjustment. I kind of thought I would have to, but I just wanted to make sure. So what we then did was I was able to mark on there, you can see the distance between the seam and where I need to make the adjustment. And I also looked at how it fit me everywhere else, and actually it was quite baggy here and baggy on the hip. So what I decided to do was take it down a size, still doing the grading, but just take it down one size. Now what that meant was, if I made the top smaller, I went from the 10 to the 8, it meant that some of the excess fabric was cut off the shoulder seam. So what I needed to be careful of is that I compensate for that in the amount that I take off for the sway back. So also what I needed to be aware of is that there's the seam in here as well, if that makes sense. So I worked out what I needed to take off and measured in the centre back. I think it was 2 inches, because I've lost some from up here already, which will make a difference. And obviously you've got the seam allowance to take into account, and that came to about 2 inches I think, which would mean that basically I measured from 2 inches here and then tapered off so that it's exactly the same at the sides, because I don't need to take any length out of the sides. And then that's your sway back, and then when that opens out it pulls down there and pulls the shoulders down. I hope that makes sense. Now if that isn't enough, I can always make more adjustments, because this isn't a this is a separate bodice and skirt. It's slightly harder if you've got a full bodice and skirt. You'd need to if it was one pattern piece, the bodice and skirt, because you would have a seam line otherwise, whereas with this you can just unpick and then cut a little bit more off. So I've adjusted all the patterns. As I say, I've gone from an 8 on the top grading to a 10 on the waist, and I've graded on the skirt from a 10 to a 12 on the hip. And I am now ready to cut out my real fabric, which is the weird fabric. So this is the weird fabric. I have a metre of this, and I just think this is going to look such a cute little Dani Pinafore. And I've got this blue navy cotton that will just go as the lining. Now, I'm excited to make this actually, because the thing with this Dani is it's actually got a facing, a lining. So I think the facing attaches to the lining. And then, so it's got armhole facings and neckline facings that then attach to the lining, and then you attach the dress to the facings, if that makes sense. So that's going to be a new way of constructing something that I've not constructed before, so I'm excited to do that. So that the other item that I took with me, because I thought it'd be really simple to do while I'm chatting at a social. For those of you that have been to a social, you'll know that because you're chatting away to people, it's quite hard to concentrate and you make silly mistakes. So I didn't want to take anything too complicated with me. And the other thing is, my faff machine has been sent away to be repaired. I had a problem with my foot pedal, which I don't know if I'd mentioned. And it's actually to do with the attack with the socket that the foot goes into. It wasn't working, so I was having to use stop-start, which was fine. But it obviously needed to be fixed. So it went away last week, and it's due to be fixed this week and being sent back. Now, David Drummond's been absolutely fantastic. They came and collected it free of charge. They're fixing it free of charge, and it's coming back to me free of charge. But I am using my brother's sewing machine at the moment, so I am, you know, not wanting to do anything too adventurous on that machine. But I decided I was going to make a pair of pyjamas, and I shared this fabric last Friday Sews, which was a fabric that I purchased from Hey Sew Sister, and I have made the ultimate pyjamas by Sew Over It. Now, they are a simple pyjama pattern. They have no pockets. They're 3 pattern pieces, mirror images of the front, mirror images of the back, and a waistband. Oh my god, you could not think I'd get this, I could get this wrong really, but I did. So to make things worse, I've done French seams throughout, so you can see got my lovely French seams here, is that coming up all the way through, and they look super neat. But I had an absolute nightmare with these. I don't know if anyone's ever done this before. So these are them, sorry. So I haven't put the waistband on yet, because the waistband has a drawstring that uses buttonholes as the opening. Now I can't find for the life of me my buttonhole foot for my brother machine. I don't know where it was. I had it the other day and I just don't know what I've done with it. I'm looking around now to see if I can see it, and obviously because I haven't got my faff, I can't do a buttonhole on that. So I'm kind of waiting, because I don't want to do a manual one. I just want to wait and get them really nice. So anyway, I have done these pyjamas, but as I said, I had an absolute nightmare with them. These are them. It was just a catalogue of errors. So I first of all started sewing them up without really looking at the instructions, because I knew how to do it. So I started sewing them up as normal. Then I started thinking, oh, perhaps just better check the instructions. I read the instructions and thought they were saying I was doing it wrong. So then I unpicked everything, sewed it up the way I thought the instructions were telling me to do, only to realise when I'd sewn that up that I actually was doing it right the first time. And I ended up with, I ended up with a skirt. It was so weird. Like, I got into such a mess, and I can't really explain how much of a mess I got into, but it ended up with me unpicking it all again and going back to what I'd done before. Now, obviously there's unpicking a seam, and then there's unpicking French seams, which is a pain in the butt. But I got there. So I didn't get my pyjamas finished on the day. I had to bring them home and finish them at home. But they're well worth the effort. I've tried to line up where possible the stripes, which I'm quite proud of. and that was not an easy feat to do considering it's French jeans. But as you can see, these will be like this. They're super cute. I am going to regret not having pockets in them, but if I make another pair I will put pockets in. I think I have to think about how I do that. But the reason why I went for this pattern is I really like the waistband. The waistband is elasticated, but it has a drawstring as well, and it's got, yeah, I just think it's really cute, so that's why I've gone for that one. So yeah, we'll see how I get on with that. I'm going to hopefully finish that this week if my faff gets returned, but if not, unless I find my brother my buttonhole foot, that's probably not going to get done. I could go for eyelets, but I want to do it the way that the pattern tells me. So I'm really happy with those, and I have just shoved in the wash my waffle knit, which I should have kept out actually to show you, but it's basically this mustard colour in a waffle knit that I'm going to make probably the Mila jumper by Tammy Handmade as the pyjama top for this, and these are going to be a really nice pair of pyjamas. Cannot wait. So that is what I did at the sewing social. When it came to the swaps table, I was quite restrained. I picked up one piece of fabric at the very end, and it was this cotton sateen. It's got a bit of stretch in it, and I thought these colours, although the pink's not really me, I love the orange and I just love the print because I do like a big flower print. So I've got, and there's actually quite a lot here. I didn't realise till I got home how much was here. There's over 3 meters. And I'm wondering whether this would make a really nice pair of Carolyn pyjamas, because I do love that pattern. I think you could do it some really nice orange piping or pink or maroon or whatever colour piping, and it would make a really nice pair of pyjamas. So I did pick up that fabric. Initially I thought about doing another Blair with it, no, another Dani with it. I've actually got too much fabric really to use it for that. So yeah, this might be a pair of pyjamas, maybe Carolyn's. They are quite time consuming, the Carolyn's, but I do love them, and I did really enjoy making my last pair. So that was all I got from the swaps table, so I was quite proud of myself. So in other news this week, I have filmed my gift to November, which I will link up above here, so please go and check that out if you haven't already. A gift to November is a sewing challenge being run by Alison from Sew Like Dotty and Adam from Adam Sews, which is all around motivating you to get started on your Christmas sewing gifts. And there are some amazing prizes. Talking of David Drummond, he is sponsoring this challenge by giving away a sewing machine, so that is amazing. Now the other bits of sewing that I have been doing this week is I have been sewing up my September and October Little Miss Sew and Sew subscription box. Now I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but you probably have heard that Nicola is stopping the monthly subscription to the So Special, So Luxurious subscription boxes, all Set to Sew subscription boxes. She was finding that although it was really popular, if they didn't sell the whole bulk of fabric that they ordered after everybody had ordered and selected their fabrics, they weren't really becoming profitable, and obviously the business needs to stay profitable. So it's with a heavy heart she's had to stop those, which is unfortunate because I do love them, but I understand the theory behind it. But what she is going to be doing is every single month doing an all Set to Sew bundle of the month. So that means that she will launch on the first of the month the option. It will be one pattern, and you will have a choice of fabrics, and then you'll get everything you need for that pattern, like I've been receiving in my all Set to Sew subscription boxes. You will then get that sent out once they've ordered the fabrics, and that will just mean that it will be easy for them to keep on top of those orders and pass on the profits onto great deals for you as customers. Now I still have my September and October boxes to make up, well, to film, because I've made them now, and I still want to do that because I know you guys love that reveal. So they will be coming next week at some point. The all Set to Sew of the month this month was a coat pattern, and it was the, I cannot remember, is it the VN coat by Size Me Sewing, but I was very, very tempted. And I will be remaining a brand ambassador for Nicola, and hoping in the future to get involved in a few more projects. I think between now and the end of the year I will stick with what I've got, and then in the new year I will look at getting some of these other packages that they do to show you. So the week ahead I will be cutting out my Dani and trying to get my Dani sewn up, and I will also try and finish these pyjamas off if possible. But the big thing that I'm going to be doing is starting a new project, and that is going to be the Lavender Robe by Alice & Co Patterns, which is, it's not a new to me company because I have heard of them and I have one of their patterns. I have a jumpsuit that they do, but I haven't made it up yet, so I've never made one of their patterns. But this is for So Confident. This is the pattern envelope that they send their pattern in to you when they print it out, because if you didn't know, they do pattern printing. But yeah, they send you it in this project folder. So I've got the pattern all cut out, and the fabric that I am going to be making mine in is this gorgeous plaid flannel in this red. It's so Christmassy, it's unbelievable, and I'm going to be sewing that up, and I have the cutest patch to go on this. I will show you it. And this is the patch that says Merry Christmas, and I got this from Eleanor Boma, which I don't know if you've heard of her, but she does loads of great like houseware, and like she does pajamas, she does prints, and she also does patches. So I got this patch last Christmas and I think that's going to look gorgeous. So this is going to become my Christmas dressing gown, and it's called the Lavender Robe. As I say, it's fairly simple, I think. But yeah, I think it's just going to be really snug and cozy, and it's going to be full length long. I want one right down to the floor. I do have a wintry robe at the moment, but it's like only kind of like above my knee, and I like to be completely cozy. So the plan for this is to be quite oversized and snuggly, and this will go in the window display for December. So I've got till the end of November to sew this up. Obviously I won't get to wear it this Christmas, but it will be great for next Christmas. So yeah, that is the fabric that I'm going to be making my robe in. This weekend I'm not going to be doing anything sewing related, boo, and I'm going to be pretty much a chilled weekend at home this weekend. But I have got my older girls and Alice, so we won't get a chance to do much sewing. But the following weekend we will be at Becky's sewing social, so I'll have another social next week. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have enjoyed it, please click the like button. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe, because I've now hit the 4,500. I don't think I'm going to get 500 subscribers between now and the 17th of December, but who knows, I might do. But if you don't subscribe, I'm not going to get there, am I? So please, if you don't already, please take a moment to subscribe now. Okay, if you want to support my channel further, you can buy me a virtual coffee using my Ko-fi account, which is linked below as well. Okay, so that's all from me for now, and I'll see you all soon. Happy sewing.